Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest weather watch. Today is December 10th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see our atmospheric river has changed its shape a bit, but it is still just flowing this deep, rich moisture back up into our area. We got the gears in the machine, the ridge of high pressure to the south here off the coast of California, and you've got the trough now digging out to the northwest of the Hawaiian Islands, still funneling that rich moisture back into our area here. Some historic and record flooding ongoing right now and will be continuing and probably peaking on the day tomorrow for a lot of areas. We're going to take a detailed look at that. We'll see what is to come and do we have any hope for the extended forecast to get a pattern change in here. We'll dive into that. Now, take a look across Western Washington. Rivers are just absolutely swollen. They're raging. Do be careful around there. Don't cross barricades. Know the difference between a watch and a warning. Click on your individual location if you need more information. They talk about this. Do not drive around barricades just because that water isn't moving. You might get out there and you start to see it moving, or the water has already washed out the roadway, so be careful. And also, we got some winds out there. You can see this National Weather Service Spokane. It's going to get windy here. Moses Lake, not as bad as Ritzville or Spokane. Some of southeast Washington, there's Pullman gusting up towards 50. And for some areas in western Washington that are windy this morning as well, that's could be causing, you could get some tree damage still with that. So just going to pay attention. Saturated soils. And we have shallow rooted trees here in the region. And also northern Idaho flood watch is in effect. There's some rock slides and mud flows potentially, and some rivers just raging out there also. So, don't travel if you don't have to, and especially stay out of the canyons and some of the river areas if you can avoid that. Now, Tempest Weather Station, this thing is great. I mean, more than just hardware. Check it out. It actually learns by the stations talking to each other, and then it kind of, builds a nice forecast for you there as well. No moving parts. Great stuff here for a weather station. Great Christmas gift. Click on the link down below to save 10%. So as we're going through this morning, you see the wind still out there. I mean, even towards Tacoma, it shows some gust up towards 50, and that could really do some tree damage. Look at Everett checking in at 51 here as we go towards the noon hour as well. So be careful with that. Not everybody's seeing the wind. You can see Whidbey Island not seeing much, for example, Bellingham not seeing as much as well. But look at some of the higher terrain, the ridge lines there that are getting huge amounts of precipitation, some wind out there. So hopefully, if you're hiking out there, you know what you're doing. I don't know how enjoyable that would be. It's just basically a raging torrent across the Cascades right now. And you can see some big winds out there for eastern Washington as we go on in through the day today as well. Now, wide view of things here, and taking a look at our atmospheric river. Pacific Northwest is to the right of this image. Japan is to the left. There it goes. Hawaiian Islands to the bottom of this image. And it just kind of is training over the region here as we go through the day today. Again, intense rainfall amounts rolling in here today. High snow levels. And we continue that atmospheric river into the day on Thursday. Then finally, we cut it off a bit here for Washington and Oregon. It's already kind of cut off for Oregon here, but Western Washington still really under the gun today. And then we start to point that back towards western British Columbia here, and we scroll out a little bit more. System starts to gear up here as we go through Sunday. Another atmospheric river approaching western BC, then eventually Washington and Oregon. Hopefully this thing does not hang up and it stays progressive, because we cannot afford another strong atmospheric river at this time. As we go on in through early next week, we really need some breaks. But look at that. You can kind of see how the gears in the machine are still there. The high pressure and the low pressure across the Gulf of Alaska is still funneling this moisture back towards us. That is not good news here, folks. And I'll show you the extended forecast on that here more in a moment. But if we look, I'm going to back this up to where we are right about now. And again, you can see the rainfall just absolutely plastering western Washington, some of northwest Oregon, BC, and it really continues on in towards Saturday. It doesn't let up for western BC, but Washington, Oregon, again, getting some break there in the system. And as we go on through the day Sunday, look at this next monster storm rolling in here. And hopefully this thing swings through pretty quickly. If that hangs up, that is going to be bad news, potentially catastrophic for the area. Now, taking a look here at the day one excessive rainfall outlook, I thought they might upgrade to a moderate, but it's clearly academic at this point. The rivers are going to be approaching record stage for many locations. You can see the slight risk out there, and that does include the Idaho Panhandle and portions of western Montana as well. And this will be for Thursday morning to Friday morning. Still some marginal out there and some slight for the Rocky Mountains. Day 3 finally getting that break. Now, take a look here. This is just the last 12 hours, you guys. I mean, look at some of the rainfall amounts on top of what we already had. You can imagine what Snoqualmie Falls is going to look like as we go through tonight into tomorrow morning. Yeah, just kind of showing you that here. A lot of rainfall flying across the higher terrain. And if we take a look here at the high resolution rapid refresh. I'm going to scroll out here, total precipitation in inches. As we go through Thursday morning, again, these totals are just absolutely wild across some of the higher terrain. The high resolution model showing up to another foot here as we go on in towards tomorrow morning. Some pretty good amounts for portions of Seattle as well. And, Tiger Mountain out there, Mount Rainier, North and Central Cascades of Snohomish County, just absolutely getting plastered. And you can see this lack of rainfall. That is that rain shadow. It's the atmospheric river flowing in here. You get the compression on the leeward side of the Olympic Mountains. That warms things up just enough where you don't get that precipitation ongoing. But you can see the sharp rainfall gradient there right across downtown Seattle. Much more for SeaTac versus North Seattle in this example. But again, yeah, the big story here is the rainfall falling across the higher terrain. And if we take a look at this, I mean, look at all these purples. These are major flood stage for all these rivers here across the region, including Wenatchee. And if we take a look here at Snoqualmie River near the falls, yesterday was raging, the highest in 10 years. And tonight and tomorrow morning are going to, eclipse that by a fair amount here. It's not going to be record levels here for Snoqualmie Falls, but still, that is well above the major flooding stage for Snoqualmie. Now, Skagit River near Mount Vernon, this is just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the record is 37.4, and we are going to absolutely decimate that as we go through Thursday night into Friday morning. Very dangerous flooding incoming here. You can see the flood impacts once you get above 36 feet. You can pause that if you need to read it and, listen to your local authorities. This flooding is real, and it could be very catastrophic, and it is widespread. Look at the Snohomish River at Snohomish. The record crest is 33.5. We're supposed to get to 33.7. And again, we're going to stay there for a while as we go through Thursday morning, all the way through Thursday night and all the way to Friday morning, even towards the afternoon hours, still well above major flood stage. And if we look at the Skagit near Concrete, I mean, look at this absolutely blowing away this record crest. This, again, Concrete, Skagit River, almost 48 feet on the crest there. And that would be for Thursday morning, just really ramping up as we go through the day today, especially through this afternoon and tonight. Now, again, one more look at that here. But look at the Puyallup River. Its all-time record flow is 21,500 cubic feet per second. We have elapsed that, or we're right at it right now. And it's supposed to even get a little bit worse here over the next few hours for the Puyallup River. Record river flow, Puyallup River, just amazing stuff. And if we take a look at Cedar River at Renton, getting close to the record crest, and again, above major flood stage. This is Snohomish River near Monroe. Look at the record. We're supposed to beat the record crest there again as well. And this is for Thursday afternoon. There's Snohomish River at Snohomish. I showed you that one already. Skagit River now near Mount Vernon. I showed you that one. And there's Concrete. Carbon River near Fairfax also. Some of these rivers down to the south are also getting into major flood stage and not that far off the record crest for some locations. And the Nisqually River, 18,000, well into major flood stage as well. And let's see, Chehalis, that's not very far off the record crest of 205.5, just a half a foot off, but it's right there creeping up towards major flood stage. It was there yesterday as well. And Wenatchee River into major flood stage. Also, some flooding on the Yakima River also. So be prepared for that. That river is raging. It's going to be like that here on in through, about Thursday morning into the afternoon hours. Now, as you can imagine, these atmospheric rivers, they're very warm, and you can see the freezing level quite a ways above Snoqualmie Pass here as we go on in towards the early portion of next week. There is a sign of maybe some cooler air trying to make its way in through at times next week. This may be just kind of a frontal passage and it may be brief, but I'll show you some of that more here in a moment. Mount Hood trying to get a bit lower, but look at the freezing level, just very high. Not good snow across the Cascades of Oregon. There's Crystal Mountain also. Now, if we look at the snowpack, I'll scroll through here over the next 6 days. Let's start that over again. Look at that. Our snowpack is just really being hammered and decimated out there. This is not good as we go on in through next week. We scroll all the way on in through, about Monday night, and we're really lacking the snowfall department across the higher terrain. Hopefully we can flip that up in the second half of December or the end portion. So now let's take a look at the extended forecast a little bit here. Scrolling through here, there's our atmospheric river all the way through Thursday. Starts to take aim back at western British Columbia here as we go through the weekend. Starts to point itself back down towards western Washington and Oregon. Hopefully that thing is progressive because that's another powerful atmospheric river. Continues on all the way through midweek periods, and then look at this next monster atmospheric river. That one, man, if that hangs up on us, or these next two hang up on us, we are going to be in some trouble yet again. So stuff to watch. And then you can kind of see that storm track shifts a bit further south, and we start to get some cooler air back into British Columbia on the artificial intelligence deterministic run. I'll look at the ensembles here more in a moment, but there's some cooler air trying to make its way down into the Pacific Northwest. We need some mountain snow, and we need to build up that snowpack, hopefully. And yeah, we need to end this flooding, because we have another couple potentially dynamic atmospheric rivers coming again, potentially next week and towards the end of that next week as well. Now, if we look at the ensemble mean at 5,000 feet, 850 millibars, this is that colder air trapped up across the northwest portion of Canada and some of Alaska. Then you can see the very warm air across Pacific Northwest as we go on into the early portion of next week. A little shot of some cooler air trying to move in here, maybe midweek, but again, the ensembles are not that bullish on it. However, as we scroll on in towards December 20th and later on, we start to get some cooler air starting to move back out over the Pacific Ocean and maybe back into the Pacific Northwest. Again, it's definitely better than what we're going through now. I'm toggling back and forth there. So hopefully that starts to show something. We start to trend towards that a bit more. But if we take a look here at the European artificial intelligence and the precipitation, again, you guys know what's going on here in the short term. You can see the big precipitation amounts just hammering Western Washington. And then we continue that across Western BC, some big amounts incoming. And then as we go through next week, you can see the rainfall just continue to pile up across Washington, Oregon. I mean, look at some of the huge amounts. Hopefully we don't do this again, because, man, we don't have much room. The soil is going to be completely saturated, and we're going to go back above major flood stage really quickly if that does occur. And we scroll it all the way through the 15-day period. Big amounts potentially also incoming. Now, 6 to 10 day temperature outlook above normal across the west. There's the above normal, 8 to 14 days, something similar as well. And the experimental product is also, kind of highlighting that stormy pattern here as we go through December 20th, 23rd. Risk of heavy snow. Hopefully this starts to show up. I don't know. I didn't see any of that until after the 20th there. So take that with a grain of salt for sure. Risk of high winds, of course, the stormy weather, some deep lows trying to move up towards Western BC or Western Washington. Also, we'll watch those closely. Check out the California page if you like. I'm going to go out and I'll try to live stream here today at some point, depending on what we see. Might be better tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, hopefully you guys are having a good day, and I will catch you guys in the next forecast. Maybe I'll see you here again later today.